Hello and welcome to this India Today special. India's Prime Minister Narendra Damodar Das Modi has turned 71. And what better way to begin this special show that looks at the life and times of Narendra Modi, the politician, than focus on something that is inevitably associated with Mr. Modi, the election battlefield. Over the next hour, we'll give you a 360-degree look at the Prime Minister's life and times near the halfway mark of his second term. But rolling up his sleeves for a big election season, perhaps, is what really drives Prime Minister Modi. So let's start this special by looking at Modi, the election machine. Take a look.
The Modi wave, Tsunami. Call it what you may. Narendra Modi's unmatched popularity, his charm, his connect with the people has pushed BJP to electoral prominence nationally and across states. Riding the anti-Congress sentiment, BJP returned to power at the centre after 10 years in 2014. Narendra Modi became the first Prime Minister of a BJP government with a majority of its own. The rise at national level reverberated in the states. From holding power in only 7 state assemblies in 2014 to a staggering 21 by 2018. The BJP swept the nation with the Modi wave. By mid-2018, most of India had turned saffron. While in 2014, the BJP ruled over Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Goa and Arunachal Pradesh, directly or with alliance partners, by September 2018, the only states the BJP did not rule were Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Mizoram, Punjab, Odisha, West Bengal and Telangana. But the graph was slow and steady. From 7 in 2014 to 13 in 2015, 15 in 2016, 19 in 2017 and 21 in 2018.
हमारे देश में सरकारों का मूल्यांकन, सरकार की शक्ति का आकलन, सरकार के परफॉर्मेंस की बातें ज्यादातर कौन सरकार कितनी बड़ी घोषणा करती रही है उसके ही आसपास रही है। हमारी सरकार का मूल्यांकन उसके डिलीवरी सिस्टम से हो रहा है। नीतियां भी, नियत भी और आखिरी इंसान तक उस निर्णय को पहुंचाना, उस सुविधा को पहुंचाना, हकदार को हक पहुंचाना, ये हमारी सरकार की विशेषता रही है।
The BJP has been riding a roller coaster of political victories and defeats since Narendra Modi became Prime Minister. Then came 2019. Narendra Modi and his government made a historic comeback in the Lok Sabha elections. If 2014 saw BJP become the first non-Congress party to get absolute majority in Lok Sabha with 282 seats and 31% vote share, in 2019, BJP under Modi increased its tally of seats to 303 with a 38% vote share.
भाजपा अगर चुनाव जीते तो इसे चुनाव जीतने की मशीन कहा जाता है। लेकिन दूसरे जब चुनाव जीतते हैं तो पार्टी की वाहवाही, नेताओं की वाहवाही, न जाने क्या क्या कहा जाता है। इस तरह के दो मापदंड हम देख रहे हैं। जो लोग कहते हैं कि बीजेपी चुनाव जीतने की मशीन है, वो एक प्रकार से भारत के लोकतंत्र की जो परिपक्वता है उसको समझ ही नहीं पाते हैं। वो भारत के नागरिकों की जो सूझबूझ है उसका आकलन ही नहीं कर पाते हैं। वो उनके समझ के परे हैं। वो भारत के नागरिकों की आशा, अपेक्षाएं और उनके सपनों उसे कभी भी समझ नहीं पाते हैं। सच्चाई ये है कि बीजेपी चुनाव जीतने की मशीन नहीं, देश और देशवासियों का दिल जीतने वाला एक अविरल, अनवरत अभियान है।
The impact of BJP's rise under Modi can also be gauged from the fact that the party returned to power in politically significant Uttar Pradesh after 15 years. The BJP won by an overwhelming three-quarter majority of 325 seats, riding the Modi wave. BJP trounced rivals SP, Congress and BSP. This despite not projecting a chief ministerial candidate before the polls. BJP also formed alliances in the northeast to edge out Congress from all 8 states of the region. This growth is significant because the party was traditionally a marginal player in the politics of the northeast. It was Narendra Modi's popularity that helped BJP win Assam on its own in the assembly elections in June 2016 and again in 2021. 7 years into power, the Modi election machine still continues to be in top gear as it sets its eyes on the upcoming assembly elections and the all-important 2024 war.
विधानसभा चुनावों के लिए भी तैयारियां चल रही है।
If there's one thing Narendra Modi understands above all else, it's the power of the spoken word. In speech after speech, in campaign after campaign, he has persistently demonstrated a knack for finding catchphrases or buzzwords that linger in the memory of his supporters and rivals long after he's spoken them, very often triggering big political fights. Here's a look at the most enduring Modi catchphrases.
भारत माता की, भारत माता की,
भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, मेरी राजनीति का एक ही मंत्र।
No matter what you think of him,
और वो मंत्र है विकास।
घर में घुसकर मारेंगे।
when Modi speaks,
पाकिस्तान के गुणगान गाने वाले अलगाववादियों के साथ हम सख्ती से निपट रहे हैं।
the political landscape is listening, and Modi knows it better than anyone else.
तो कांग्रेस, एनसीपी, जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए अलग प्रधानमंत्री चाहने वालों के साथ खड़ी हो गई है। अरे शरण आओ।
And that's why, in a journey of ever-sharpening oratory, Modi is now the undisputed master of the political catchphrase. Each speech, each occasion, targeted with a specially crafted set of buzzwords that captures the mood and triggers an eruption of political emotion.
राजनीतिक गोटियां बिठाने वालों की जरूरत नहीं है।
Let's look back at Modi's most popular catchphrases, ones that set the agenda in India's unrelentingly combative politics.
आपका मन नहीं भरा क्या?
Modi's first true viral catchphrase came on the threshold of his historic 2014 victory.
आपको लगता है अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं? आपको लगता है अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं? आपको लगता है बड़े दिन जाने वाले हैं?
The five-word catchphrase would go on to become the BJP's battering ram to bring down the UPA government and storm to power. It would also go on to be used by Modi's detractors as a taunt when the chips were down. The promise of better days was soon supplanted as numero uno Modi catchphrase by another, one with even greater echoes across the country.
मेरी सरकार का मूल मंत्र है सबका साथ, सबका विकास। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास।
Soon after entering office with a massive mandate, Modi was quick to deploy his second big catchphrase.
Minimum government, maximum governance.
Minimum government, maximum governance would go viral, capturing the imagination of the middle class, but also becoming a double-edged sword against the Modi government in the years to come. Not long after, two more catchphrases would once again fascinate India and become instantly recognizable as carrying the Modi brand. First there was this.
ये हम स्वच्छ भारत, स्वस्थ भारत, सुंदर भारत बनाने पर भी फोकस कर रहे हैं.
And after Swachh Bharat went on to become a nationwide campaign, Modi dropped this one.
हम जब मेक इन इंडिया कहते हैं तो मेक फॉर इंडिया भी है.
हमारा मकसद है हमारे देश के युवा हाथों में को रोजगार देना. उसके लिए हमने मेक इन इंडिया का कार्यक्रम भी चलाया है.
आत्मनिर्भर शब्द के मायने पूरी तरह बदल गए हैं. ग्लोबल वर्ल्ड में आत्मनिर्भरता की डेफिनेशन बदल रही है.
Combining capitalism, entrepreneurship and nationalism with self-reliance proved to be a heady mix for a population yearning for a vision of a homegrown economy. Two phrases that continue to be flagship Modi creations. From the aspirational class to the most underprivileged, Modi ensured he was aiming his words at all. And it was in this spirit, amidst temple politics, that he said something that resonated hugely at the time.
मैं कहता हूं पहले शौचालय फिर देवालय.
Moving forward, another Modi catchphrase that has become a fixture on schemes, painted on walls in villages across the country and becoming a resonant war cry in the fight for gender justice, was Modi's invocation against female infanticide.
बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ अभियान हो, देश की नारी शक्ति को सशक्त करने के लिए निरंतर काम किया जा रहा है.
But not all of Modi's viral catchphrases have been just about governance and administration. Several were sharp attacks against his political rivals and his detractors. For instance, Modi's recent anointment of certain civil society activists in the farm protests as Andolanjivis.
आंदोलन का एक नया तरीका है. क्या तरीका है? आंदोलनकारी जो होते हैं वो ऐसे तरीके नहीं अपनाते. आंदोलनजीवी होते हैं वो ऐसे तरीके अपनाते हैं.
Or Modi's retort to Mamta's viral Khela Hobe challenge.
अब हर तरफ से एक ही आवाज है, टीएमसी का खेला शेष. टीएमसी का खेला शेष, खेला खत्म.
Or as many remember, Modi's unrelenting christening of Rahul Gandhi as an entitled prince.
और मैं शाहजादे को पूछना चाहता हूँ, ये पैसे दिए कह रहे हो, मैं जरा जानना चाहता हूँ, ये मामा के घर से लाए थे क्या?
एक बार ऐसे जिन्होंने वादे किए थे ना, इन
सबकी दुकान बंद कर दूं।
When utterances mean as much as actions in Indian politics, Modi has mastered the art of the spoken word. Each speech, each interaction, another occasion to drop his mic. Bureau Report, India Today.
चिंता का विषय होना चाहिए, ये सरकार की चिंता का नहीं, देश की चिंता का विषय होना चाहिए।
From meeting India's Olympians and Paralympians to the Pariksha Pe Charcha, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has mastered the art of high-profile people connect. His critics may call this artful event management, but Narendra Modi is aware that the resonance of his interaction and what they signify for a Prime Minister who has branded himself Desh ka Chaukidar.
बोले नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद, नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद। जोरदार तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट से स्वागत करिए। भारत माता का शेर हम लोगों के बीच में पधार रहे हैं, भारत के लोकप्रिय प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र भाई मोदी।
A master orator.
तो मैं दीदी चाचे आशोल परिवर्तन अच्छे।
With unparalleled people connect.
भाइयों बहनों, टीवी में जगह पाने के लिए सरकारें नहीं चलानी होती है, सरकार चलानी होती है जनता जनार्दन के दिलों में जगह बनाने के लिए।
Who knows the pulse of his audience.
ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी में दिल्ली में बैठी हुई सरकार, ये गरीबों के लिए सरकार है, गरीबों के लिए काम करती है।
Connecting with them at the right time with the right message.
भाइयों बहनों, आप मुझे मजबूत सरकार दो, आप मुझे मजबूत सरकार दो, मैं आपको मजबूत हिंदुस्तान दूंगा।
The Prime Minister was at forefront, hosting India's shining stars who made the country proud at Tokyo Olympics.
आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन है, आपने देश के बेटे बेटियों में इस नए क्षेत्र में उत्साह के साथ जाने के लिए प्रेरित किया।
Even remembering his pledge to provide them their favorite dishes.
भाई पहले मुझे इसको आइसक्रीम खिलाना है, मैंने प्रॉमिस किया था उसको। सब बंद हो गया ना?
हाँ सर, अभी ओलंपिक्स टाइम पे ऑब्वियसली बंद हो गया, बट अभी थोड़े दिन से
सबको खिलाइए भाई। अच्छा, ये चूरमा वूरमा खाया कि नहीं खाया?
खाया था सर, सोफा होटल में।
कब खाया अभी?
आते ही वहाँ से।
और एक बार खड़ा होगा। लेकिन ये तुम्हारा चूरमा तुम्हें बहुत परेशान करने वाला है, मान लो।
In Fit India 2020, Modi even played a moderator, effortlessly communicating with participants as varied as a Kashmiri footballer,
अफसान, आपने तो फुटबॉल में कमाल करके दिखाया है।
a cricket star,
विराट जी, आपका तो नाम भी विराट और काम भी विराट।
a nutritionist,
लोगों को लगता है कि फिटनेस का मतलब है खाना पीना।
and even a yoga guru.
मैं समझता हूँ आपकी बात को नई पीढ़ी जरूर नए तरीके से स्वीकार करेगी।
His monthly radio address, Man Ki Baat, which has completed 80th edition, has been a key driver of Modi's message.
करगिल का युद्ध भारत की सेनाओं के शौर्य और संयम का ऐसा प्रतीक है जिसे पूरी दुनिया ने देखा है। इस बार ये गौरवशाली दिवस भी अमृत महोत्सव के बीच में मनाया जाएगा।
Direct connect with electorates who benefit from flagship welfare schemes through Namo app has also been a hallmark of Modi's communication model, helping him reach wider audience.
दिल्ली से अन्न का जो एक एक दाना भेजा गया, वो हर लाभार्थी की थाली तक पहुंच रहा है।
Modi hasn't limited his dialogues with voters alone. He has effortlessly reached out to the young, playing the mentor who helps, encourages, soothes and inspires.
ये पबजी वाला है क्या?
या तो फ्रंटलाइन वाला होगा।
His Pariksha Pe Charcha interactions and Exam Warrior book have helped students fight exam blues with some encouraging words from the doting Prime Minister.
दिन में 100 बार ये डायलॉग सुनते हो ना?
ये समस्या भी है, समाधान भी है। हम ये चाहें कि हमारे बच्चे टेक्नोलॉजी से दूर चले जाएं, फिर तो वो एक प्रकार से अपने सारी जिंदगी से एक प्रकार से पीछे की तरफ जाना शुरू होगा, और इसलिए उसको ये टेक्नोलॉजी के संबंध में प्रोत्साहित करना चाहिए।
In the run-up to the 2019 polls, Modi gave a candid interview to Bollywood superstar Akshay Kumar, speaking on all things politics and even on his love for mangoes.
मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि आप आम खाते हो?
एक तो मैं आम खाता भी हूँ और आम खाना मुझे बहुत पसंद भी है।
अच्छा।
और गुजरात में आम रस की परंपरा भी है।
Modi's interactions have never been limited to or aimed at domestic audience and have gone beyond India's boundary. Take, for instance, his surcharged global power plays.
Namaste.
Carefully crafted to position the PM as close to the global Indian diaspora.
मेरे प्यारे भाइयों बहनों, 15 दिसंबर से क्या 15 दिसंबर से क्या? मैंने अभी कुछ बताया तो है नहीं। मैं तो ये भी कह सकता हूं कि 15 दिसंबर से मैं मीटिंग शुरू करूंगा। तो मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, 15 दिसंबर से लंदन अहमदाबाद डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट शुरू हो जाएगी।
It is this skill which has helped the Prime Minister change the poll game.
कि मजबूत नींव पे मजबूत सरकार बनाना।
Charming the electorate.
आपका प्यार मेरे सर आंखों पर दोस्तों।
One game-changing poll after another.
अरे मेरे प्यारे यारों, मैंने आपको ये नहीं पूछा कि किसकी सरकार चाहिए।
Bureau Report, India Today.
मैंने तो पूछा कैसी सरकार चाहिए।
As Modi prepares for another bruising election season just months after the battle for Bengal, his rivals have begun to confabulate an attempt to unite, recognizing that the big war in 2024 will require a radically crafted anti-Modi front. With less than 3 years to go, here is a status check on the intended Gathbandhan formula.
The street fighter, the master strategist, and the crown prince. The three most prominent faces of the anti-Modi front. But just how viable is this front? And who is its face to challenge Narendra Modi in the upcoming electoral battles? Mamata Banerjee is still on a high after winning the Bengal election just months ago. She took on the Modi-Shah juggernaut, rampant defection in the Trinamool, and still won, and that too with an injured foot.
Banglar Manus, Banglar Joy, Banglar Joy, Banglai Pare, Banglai Pare.
But while Didi did ultimately win the Khela, the tough fight that she faced from the BJP, which went from being a non-player in the state to the main opposition, is testament to the power of Prime Minister Modi and his hold over the public imagination. The BJP, riding on the coattails of Prime Minister Modi's widespread popularity, has been able to win election after election in state after state. Even when the Congress wins, they lose. Take Madhya Pradesh. The Gandhis were unable to pacify Rahul loyalist Jyotiraditya Scindia as he took on then Chief Minister Kamal Nath. Scindia not only defected to the BJP, but also helped topple the Kamal Nath government. Rajasthan was about to follow suit, thanks to infighting between Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, another Rahul aide. It was Gehlot's clever manoeuvring that averted disaster for the Congress in that state, rather than anything that Rahul Gandhi did. Though only a Wayanad MP on paper, for the Congress, Rahul remains the ultimate challenger to Modi. And while he has taken on the Modi government on various issues, from farmer protests to rising prices, calling them big failures of the centre.
जब डीजल का पेट्रोल का दाम बढ़ता है तो ट्रांसपोर्ट कॉस्ट बढ़ती हैं, ट्रांसपोर्ट कॉस्ट बढ़ती हैं तो सब चीज के दाम बढ़ते हैं.
Rahul's biggest failing has been electoral success, which remains totally elusive. But it is a reality that the Congress refuses to accept, despite murmurs getting louder from within the party. And from long-time allies like Sharad Pawar.
कसं आहे की म्हणजे मागे एकदा मी गोष्ट एक सांगितली होती की उत्तर प्रदेशमध्ये असे जमीनदार आहेत, त्यांच्याकडे मोठी शेती आहे, गावामध्ये त्यांची हवेली असते. लँड सीलिंगचा कायदा आला, त्यांच्या त्या मोठी शेती होती, जमिनी गेल्या, अनेक लोकांच्यात वाचल्या गेल्या. त्यांची हवेली आहे तशी गावात, पण त्या हवेलीची मरामत किंवा दुरुस्ती करण्याची ताकद राहिली नाही, कारण त्या शेतीचं उत्पन्न पहिल्यासारखं राहिलं नाही. काही 1000 एकर जमीन राहायची, तिथं 15 एकर 20 एकर झाली. पण सकाळी जेव्हा तो जमीनदार उठतो आपल्या हवेलीमध्ये.
Many credit Pawar for the survival of the Mahavikas Aghadi government led by Uddhav Thackeray. While Pawar and Mamta are massively popular leaders in their state, do they enjoy the kind of pan-Indian appeal to take on Narendra Modi in 2024? And will Rahul Gandhi and the Congress accept their leadership for this battle? If not, will Mamta, who met Sonia and Rahul in Delhi recently, agree to work with Rahul being in charge? While the opposition has asked several questions to the government over its performance under Prime Minister Modi, the one crucial question they themselves have been unable to answer is, who against Modi in 2024? Bureau Report, India Today.
One of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's biggest challenges remains achieving self-reliance in defence and weapons manufacturing. While it has been a slow start, the Ladakh standoff and the vibrantly willing private sector have triggered a slew of recent decisions that have at least raised great hope that Make in India in defence will kick off in a big way. There is a long road ahead, there is no denying that fact, but the first real steps have just been taken.
From Tejas light combat aircraft to Tavor rifles, from indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant to rule the seas, to the S-3 submarine to enforce sea denial. India is going full steam ahead to be Atmanirbhar or self-reliant in defence manufacturing, a key focus area of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
आज जब देश आत्मनिर्भर भारत के मिशन पर चल रहा है तो उसका एक लक्ष्य एक्सपोर्ट्स में, ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन में भारत की हिस्सेदारी को कई गुना बढ़ाने का भी है.
The 155mm howitzers was seen as a battle-winning factor in the Kargil War of 1999. These 155mm howitzers once again are a KRA for self-reliance in defence manufacturing. For more than 7 decades after independence, and despite having fought multiple wars at the borders and against terror within, India was still importing small arms systems. Achieving self-reliance in manufacturing rifles has become priority for the government. After Narendra Modi was re-elected Prime Minister in 2019, the Ministry of Defence notified the first positive indigenization list of 101 items in August 2020, putting an embargo on procurement of certain weapons and systems. This was followed by a second such list in May 2021, putting a total of 209 items which were being imported now on the red list for import. The Prime Minister's big focus is on indigenously designed, developed and manufactured weapons and systems.
आज देश ही नहीं, दुनिया भी देख रही है कि आधुनिक ग्रेनेड और राइफल से लेकर लड़ाकू विमान, आधुनिक ड्रोन, युद्धपोत, ये सब भारत में ही निर्मित करने का अभियान चल रहा है.
The government not only enhanced foreign direct investment in defense sector up to 74% through the automatic route, but also enhanced it to 100% through the government route. The cabinet approved procurement of 83 light combat aircraft Tejas from the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the Indian Air Force in January 2021. On the 13th of January, the cabinet approved the procurement of 73 light combat aircraft Tejas Mark 1A and 10 Tejas trainer jets at a total cost of 45,696 crore rupees. And this upgraded indigenous Tejas is armed with beyond visual range missiles and electronic warfare suites and air-to-air refueling capabilities. The Cabinet Committee on Security also approved the procurement of 56 C-295 transport aircraft from Airbus Defence and Space, Spain. These aircraft, with a capability of lifting 5 to 10 tons capacity, are a replacement for the Avro aircraft, and 40 of these are to be built in India by a Tata consortium within 10 years of the contract. This project is expected to give a massive boost to the domestic aerospace ecosystem. Drones are increasingly emerging as a game changer and battle winners globally. The Indian Air Force is focusing on startups for swarm drones. They have a capability of carrying out precision strikes on enemy targets. Multiple startups came forward and demonstrated drones that had a range of 10 kilometers and made 10 medical drops. The approved drones are also being tested at high altitude battlefields in eastern and southern Ladakh. Indigenously built aircraft carrier INS Vikrant and the country's second indigenous ballistic missile submarine S-3 are expected to be commissioned next year. Both platforms are indigenously designed and constructed. They are the largest and the most sophisticated platforms to be built within the country. Both the aircraft carrier and the ballistic missile submarine are seen as star attractions of the celebrations marking the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also inaugurated the Defence Industrial Corridor in Uttar Pradesh with multiple nodes to manufacture a number of weapons and systems, including drones and anti-drone systems.
कल तक जो अलीगढ़ ताले के जरिए घरों की दुकानों की रक्षा करता था,
वो 21वीं सदी में ये मेरा अलीगढ़ हिंदुस्तान की सीमाओं की रक्षा करने का काम करेगा।
Prime Minister Modi has repeatedly said his government's commitment towards self-reliance in defense production is not limited to talks or just paper-bound proposals. On ground, of course, the big challenge would remain time-bound delivery and quality control. Bureau Report, India Today.
As we slip into a break, there's lots more coming up on this India Today special broadcast, Modi at 71.
Much has been written and spoken about the Modi-Shah Jodi, but nothing quite captures the significance or strength of this relationship. A bond forged through the depths of trouble and the heights of election ecstasy. There is perhaps no political pairing in the country at the moment that comes anywhere close to the Shakti of Modi and Shah together. As they prepare for another season of what they like most, elections, here's a look back at the two men, united by hunger and purpose, divided, it seems, by nothing.
The Jodi number one for the BJP, the Jai Viru of politics. From Gujarat to Delhi, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah have been unstoppable and a formidable combination which the opposition has been struggling to bowl out. Their Delhi innings began after the 2014 Modi wave. Narendra Modi had proven his mettle from a state leader to a national mass leader, and Amit Shah proved his worth by bagging Uttar Pradesh with ease for the BJP. And months after the general election victory, Amit Shah was named as president of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
आम सहमत के आधार पर यह फैसला किया है कि श्री अमित शाह जी अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नए राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष होंगे.
Since then, every decision has been taken by the Modi-Shah combine. The Modi-Shah juggernaut has swept many states since 2014, and Amit Shah, as a dedicated lieutenant, credited Prime Minister Modi for every BJP win.
आजादी के बाद सबसे ऐतिहासिक विजय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को प्राप्त हुई है. ये हम सब के लिए गौरव की बात है.
There's a reason Prime Minister Modi trusts Amit Shah so blindly. Theirs is a friendship that dates back to 1982, even before the BJP chapter began. Modi, as a 32-year-old, met 17-year-old Amit Shah in the RSS, and they immediately bonded. When Modi joined the BJP in 1985, Shah wasn't far behind, joining the party the very next year. Amit Shah was given huge prominence in the Modi government in Gujarat, holding some of the most important portfolios in the cabinet. So it was only natural that when Modi decided to go national, so did Amit Shah. Every election and for every big decision, Prime Minister Modi has banked on his trusted lieutenant Amit Shah. And in the run-up to the 2019 general election, the message from Modi was clear.
अध्यक्ष हमारे लिए सब कुछ होते हैं.
The 2019 election further cemented that Modi-Shah were the unbeatable Jodi of Indian politics. If there was a Modi wave in 2014, it was a tsunami in 2019.
हर किसी को उत्तम तरीके से लोकतंत्र में विश्वास बढ़ाने वाली व्यवस्था देने के लिए बहुत ही उत्तम तरीके से चुनाव प्रक्रियाओं को संपन्न कराने के लिए हृदयपूर्वक बहुत-बहुत बधाई देता हूं.
This mandate paved the way for Amit Shah to join Modi in the government. He was made the Home Minister, handed one of the most challenging tasks to pave the way for Modi's Naya Kashmir.
मैं जब जम्मू एंड कश्मीर बोलता हूं, माननीय सदस्य इसलिए एग्रेसिव हूं कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के पीएको को आप भारत का हिस्सा नहीं मानते हो क्या? एग्रेसिव ना हो, जान जान दे देंगे इसके लिए। क्या बात कर रहे हो आप? एग्रेसिव होने की क्या बात कर रहे हो?
A friendship that has ruled Indian politics for years now. Amit Bhai has been a constant all through Modi's political career. He's seen the ups and downs with Modi, and this formidable Jodi has been a force to reckon with very few in the opposition able to run out this long-standing partnership. Bureau Report, India Today.
As we bring this special broadcast to a close, remember, we are once again neck deep in election season. And while the BJP war machine gets out for another sojourn into the most challenging state of war, here's a reminder of how it was that one chief minister who came from Gujarat and propelled the BJP to its greatest heights it has known. How one man galvanized an entire nation into believing that good times were just round the corner, and that all they had to do was vote Narendra Modi. What happens next? We'll continue to report on that journey, but that is all we have for you on this special broadcast. Many thanks for watching.
In Gujarat politics, Narendra Modi helped take the BJP from 11 seats to 121 seats in the Vidhan Sabha as the BJP formed the government in the state. In 1985, Narendra Modi was called to Delhi by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, where his disciplined style of working impressed everyone, and he became the National Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party. In 2001, Narendra Modi was sent back to his home state as Chief Minister, where he displayed the skills that would make his name known all over the country and would make the Gujarat model of governance the envy of every state in India. It was just a matter of time before Modi and his state became the favorite with India Inc. For his rivals, there was just one weapon, the charge of communalism. But it was his model of growth which secured Modi his fourth term in office as Chief Minister. In 2004 and 2009, the BJP failed at the centre and its own cadre were running low on morale. The party needed a strong and vibrant leader behind whom cadre could rally. And there was only one man, one leader who could take on that challenge. And on 13th of September 2013, the BJP announced what everyone had been waiting to hear. Narendra Modi was to be the BJP's prime ministerial candidate.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व ने मुझ जैसे एक सामान्य परिवार से आए हुए, छोटे से कस्बे से आए हुए एक कार्यकर्ता को बहुत बड़े कार्य के लिए दायित्व दिया है।
The idea that had been forming now started taking on contours of a wave. Modi campaigned relentlessly for state elections in 4 big states, which was seen as the semi-final round before the general elections. When the results came in, BJP scored massive victories in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. And in Delhi, it won more seats than anybody else. The BJP under Narendra Modi was set on its path to becoming the arbiter of India's destiny. As general elections dates drew near, Narendra Modi launched his nationwide campaign. This was a fight to not just bring the BJP to power after 10 years, it was a battle of prestige for Narendra Modi. a tea seller becoming the Prime Minister of the country is a story that fired the imagination of an entire nation. Narendra Modi wove for India a dream of the good times to come. And as the Prime Minister, he changed India for good. Under him, the BJP became the largest political party in the whole world. From the north to the northeast and from Gujarat to Karnataka, the BJP under Narendra Modi has simply become unbeatable as Narendra Modi in charge of India goes on delivering on everything that he had promised and more.